friends that we bounce ideas off of
right.
throughout this industry, and not even in this industry, people outside of this industry,
right,
that we've networked with and that we talk to about business. So
yeah, more than one way to skin a cat.
there is more than one way to skin a cat.
Imagine they're all pretty gross though.
Skinned cats?
Yeah,
they probably are. We have been out tackling a few snow removal issues today, this morning.
I wouldn't even call it removal. I'd call it clearing.
Clearing, yeah, snow clearing. Our major snow that we were supposed to get ended up being about a ½ an inch, but hey, still were able to go out and take care of a couple jobs. You know, there's probably quite a few people out there that are watching guys on YouTube and gals on YouTube, and maybe they've been doing some lawns part-time, mowing some lawns, or maybe they haven't mowed any lawns at all, but they're thinking about taking it to the next level. I was thinking, before they actually dived into the lawn care business this year, there's probably about 3 things that they seriously should think about to start off with.
What 3 things are they?
Well, why, what, and who? I mean, it's simple. Why did you want to start doing what we do?
I knew I couldn't do what I was doing forever. It's pretty rough on your body, and I didn't want to move into the office or estimating something. I did auto body repair, automotive collision repair, for about 20 years, and so I was trying to figure out something that I could do to, transition into, I guess.
Well, would this have been the first thing? Would landscape maintenance and lawn care been your first choice for something to do to get out of that rat race?
It would have been my first choice at that time, and it's still my first choice now, but it wasn't always my first choice.
Right. I agree with that.
For instance, lots of people that are in the automotive repair industry, whether it be collision or turning wrenches as a mechanic, often dream of owning their own shop. Okay, of course, that thought was there in the beginning, and then it wasn't anymore.
Well, I think it's pretty important to understand why you want to go into the lawn care business, or in business for yourself, no matter what it is, you need to understand why you want to do it.
Right.
Whether it's because you can't continue on in the career that you've been in, or because you want to be in charge of your quote-unquote own destiny, or whether you really truly love this and want to make a living doing it.
Right.
You know?
Well, all right. I've always been fairly independent. I wouldn't necessarily say my way or the highway, but let's just say that I've butted heads with more than my fair share of bosses and supervisors. So, being self-employed or owning your own business is probably a good choice.
I think that that's something that's in our genetics, actually. And I think it is in an individual's genetics to be like that. I look back at my history as far as jobs go, and I've always bounced from job to job to job, because I get bored. I would get bored with what I was doing. I learned skill sets, but not necessarily enough to be considered a professional at them. But I learned a lot of different skill sets. So what is that? Jack of all trades, master of none. So I guess that's the category I would fall into. And I never imagined that I would be in the lawn care industry as my job.
Right.
Period. Or as my owning a business.
Well, I kind of started doing it on the side.
Right.
As landscaping, and I liked the creativity that went along with that. I never really thought or was able to grasp, I guess, where we're at now and what we've gone through to get here, and where we still have to go to get where we want to be.
We still struggle.
Oh yeah, it's a daily struggle. Everything's a struggle.
So
it's our business is not on autopilot. That's for sure.
So we definitely got to have a clear understanding of why you're doing what you're doing, or why you want to do it. And then, it's going to change as time goes on, but to start out, you have to have some idea. You can't, I'm just going to do this. You have to have a why,
Right.
You have to. And the next thing I would say is what's your plan? What's your goals?
And see, that was something where I think that, in all honesty, I don't think we had a clear set.
Exactly. That's why I want to stress how important it is to have that, because we did it. We winged it. We jumped into going full time, which we needed to do, but we didn't plan it out. We didn't have even a short-term plan.
Right.
So that's imperative to have some type of a plan for the first year, some type of goals set down that you want to achieve your first 6 months of your first year.
Right.
And you're right, we did not use it, and that was a mistake. I think things would have progressed smoother if we would have had it more like that our very first year.
Right. Yeah. Not only that, if we'd have had maybe some more of a grasp on business management of some type, because we didn't.
No.
Maybe if we would have had a mentor, that might have helped.
That falls into the third thing. Who? Are you just going to wing it? If you're going to go out on this venture, are you just going to wing it by yourself? Do you have family that's backing you up? Do you have a mentor? Or are you involved in mentor type groups to help you. What you have to who?
Right.
You know, I think the guys and gals who say I'm going to do this solo, that's fine if you want to be a solo business person and go do your lawns by yourself.
Right, and I would consider that.
But you still need someone for support.
Right. I mean, yes and no. I guess it depends. I would consider, and this isn't, you know, a negative statement. I would consider a solo operator to be self-employed. If they're, you know, if they've got all their equipment in an enclosed trailer and it's just them, or if they got all their equipment in their garage and it's just them, you know, I consider them to be self-employed. I would rather be a business owner than self-employed. And I think we've had this discussion before.
We
the
have.
difference.
We have.
And I still think that's, I mean, want to be a business owner, and I'm glad that we are partners, because, and we've talked about this too, we both have completely different skill sets,
Right.
that come together, you know, and basically make stuff happen.
I guess whenever I say you need someone for support, I'm not necessarily talking about
A partner?
I'm talking about, I don't care no one is an expert on everything in this business. You're gonna have to get advice from somebody.
YouTube. What?
Yeah, you can get advice from YouTube.
Sure.
But I seriously think that
All right.
you need to have someone to fall back on, a person. You can be a solo, I mean, just to bounce ideas off of, Chad.
Oh,
like
well,
we bounce ideas off of.
Okay. I was gonna say, then who's our we, or who's our person? It would be.
I'm not talking about. I'm talking about someone to shoot the shit with. You know,
Right.
someone to say, hey, you know, I had this client today, blah blah blah.
A network is what you're saying.
Yes, I'm just saying you need to have a who.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, those are the three things I think you need to ask yourself and figure out before you actually start a lawn care business or any business.
Right.
Whether they're pretty important.
Mm-hmm.
So, in my opinion, I mean, we have each other to bounce ideas off of, but we also have friends that we bounce ideas off of.
Right.
Throughout this industry, and not even in this industry, people outside of this industry.
Right.
That we've networked with and that we talk to about business. So
Yeah, more than one way to skin a cat.
there is more than one way to skin a cat.
Imagine they're all pretty gross, though.
Skinned cats?
Yeah.
They probably are. Well, that's our little bit of advice on, well, I wouldn't even call it advice. I would just call it our opinions on a mindset before you go into any type of business.
Oh, yeah. Gotta have the mindset, because there's gonna be people that are gonna be so negative, and it's not gonna be like they mean to be negative,
Right.
but their attitude towards you can if you're not careful, can have negative impact on you in your mind. So you basically, those that are not 100% on board with you, just don't care what they say.
Don't. And
that includes family.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have family members that say, oh, well, you shouldn't do that. Oh, well, that's, you know, if you want to do it, you find a way and you do it.
So whenever we're talking about the who, surround yourself with the right who's.
You gotta have positive who's.
Positive who's. And one of the worst can be your own self.
Oh yeah.
Beat your own self up about this.
Self-doubt is, yeah, you don't have that. Do your best to stay away from that. Always try and stay positive. Even whenever there's no snow to plow.
Right. And
stay positive.
this winter's been a trying winter for us.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what happens. You got to be prepared for that stuff. Mentally,
yeah, because you're not always going to be prepared for it physically, financially, Emotionally, you better be. You better have the right attitude, because as soon as if you start getting down on yourself, it's gonna be over. You can't.
Yeah, you can't.
You got to wake up in the morning and you got to go do it. It doesn't matter.
That is our motivation for today.
Yeah, get off your ass and do it.
Get off your ass and do it. But answer those 3 questions first.
What were they again?
Why?
Oh, yeah.
What?
Mm-hmm.
And who? Yeah. Thanks for swinging by.
3 W's.
The 3 W's.
WWW.